time no see. So let's start our video. Today I will talk, we are in the beginning of the school year. So today I will talk about the things that parents should know when they enroll the kids in the Japanese schools. The first thing I want to say is you should label your kids' items, all of them. Even the small items like rubbers, pencils, everything, you should label with the hiragana, using hiragana and not katakana. The reason for this is because some children cannot read katakana yet. So for being sure that all the children can read the items if they lose them and if they are gathered around the classroom, so they need to read it so they can hand it to the owner. So this is the reason. You can find stickers or stamps that you can buy on Amazon or on Rakuten, and you can use them. It's so much easier to use them for labeling the items. Yes, I will put the links here on this video on the comments with the kanji that you have to search on Rakuten or on Amazon to find those items. Okay, and so another thing is you will get many papers from school. So not all papers are useful. Some papers are not useful, so you can just trash them and you can just recycle them and use the record. With your phone, you can record. You can make a photo. You can do a photo of this paper and keep it in your ketai, yes, in your phone. Okay, so. Keeping you will get many papers from school, and not all of them are useful. So you can keep them on a file and trash the ones that are not useful. You can also take a picture of the papers that you think that you may need and keep them in your phone. Okay, so some schools will ask you to be connected to the school and to the other parents using a line group that is established by the PTA or with a mail service. And this is really useful because it will remind you about the events. It will send you warnings about something that's going on the neighborhood, and it's easy to translate because you just have to copy the message and put it on Google Translate and you can understand. Yes. Some schools will ask you to correct your child homework. And how do you correct? In Japan, homework and exercises are corrected with the hanamaru. A hanamaru is hanamaru is like a flower on the corrected part. Yes, you don't use a thick and you don't use anything else, just a circle or a hanamaru. Okay, and you or even your child, in some schools they ask the student to correct their own homework at the school or after the school. Yes, some schools will ask you to have an inkan. An inkan is a stamp with your name, and you will use this in the PTA meetings and other events. This is, I'm laughing because it doesn't make much sense to have an inkan nowadays, because you can buy an inkan in Yakuyan shops, this is true. Yes, you can buy one if you have a rather exclusive or rare name. Maybe you cannot find it in Yakuyan shops, but people can do an ink and use them to stamp documents with your ink. So it's a little bit dangerous, but some schools will ask you this. When you sign up for any event in the school, you should use a circle. Yes, not a cross, a circle. Okay, a cross means you are not going. Okay, or you are not there. So use a circle. The schools ask the parents and the children to sharpen their pencils at home, because they say that the school another very funny aspect is teachers ask the students to sharpen their pencils at home. So the students should have 3 or 4 or 5 pencils ready to use at the school, because they are not supposed to sharpen their pencils at the school. Yes, this is true. Okay, children will have health checkups at school. They will do urine tests, dentist, eyesight testing, and hearing testing, like this, yes. And some schools will ask you to buy a math set. A math set, let me see, I put it here. Okay, a math set is something like this, yes, and you have all the items, all the things to study math, to help with math comprehension and like this. And you have to label all these items, okay? They can ask you also for a pianica and for a bonsai zucchini, is that triangular hat for disaster situations. And basically, the schools usually send a paper with several options, and you choose the option that you like the most, okay? They can ask you also to bring zokins. Zokins are those rags that the kids use to wipe the floor during soji time. And tissues, toilet papers, or soap. Not all the schools are the same, so it depends on schools. Parents have to pay for school lunch fees and PTA fees and after school care. Yes, and you put this, everything, you put the money, the change, into an envelope that will be sent by the school, and you put the correct amount into this envelope and you give it to your child, and the child will give it to the teacher at school. And that's how you buy those specific items. Okay. Some schools will give you back the money if your child is not eating a part of the lunch. For example, our daughter is not drinking cow milk because we try to follow a vegetarian diet, and we always have the appropriate milk for her. It's another type of milk, it doesn't matter. And she drinks this milk, doesn't drink the one from the school. So the school gave us back the money from the milk. So you can ask your school if they can give you back a part of the money if your child is in a similar situation. The kids need to have a taisogi. What is a taisogi? For sports. And you will have to put a name. You have to iron a kind of patch, or you have to stitch with the name and with the class and with the grades, and you have to change it every year. So I really advise parents not to use the iron version. Use the stitch, because you can change it to the you can use it on the next year, and it's less troublesome to do this. Okay, So, and usually kids change their tasugi in the classroom, boys mixed with girls, and they don't do any gender separation. So be aware of that. Yes, it's like this until maybe third grade. It depends on schools, but until third or fourth grade. Sometimes the school will ask you very strange things, and the kids have to take it on the next day, like cardboard boxes or water bottles or strange things, and you have to run to pick up those things if you don't have it, or even stranger tools like knives or hammers. Sometimes they use these tools at school. I really encourage parents to write on the Renrakucho. Renrakucho is the communication booklet in Japanese, because the teachers usually are really busy and they don't have time to to make the translation properly, and they can just skip it, and it's easier if we just write it in Japanese. So I think using Google Translate, if you don't know Japanese, using Google Translate, then you print it in the printer and you just stick it in the Renrakucho is much easier. Yes, and another thing, if for some reason you need to have a meeting with the teacher or with the principal of the school, take an English speaker person. It can be another mother. If you don't want to involve someone from the school, you can hire a person. To solve this problem in Japanese, is important that you understand what's going on, and the teacher can have the correct understanding of what do you think and how to solve it. Yes, I think this is important also. Okay, thank you very much and see you next time. Bye-bye.